is anyone going to actually like it? Do you think it's good? And then, bang. I actually feel like Sir Alex Ferguson is partly to blame for the mess United are in.
I've always wanted to say his cheeks as well, and I couldn't do it.
I love you. So leg went back, smack, right in the meeting too. And he was down, creased over. Caz went...
Have you been practising your handwriting?
Yeah, sure. This is how you start general conversation. It's always hard to start a podcast, isn't it? But episode 2 is here we go. And Caz, welcome to the world of YouTube, first of all. And
I know.
Wow. Like, didn't expect it to go the way it did. Didn't expect the response we got, but it was massive, let's just say that.
It was nice. It's given me more confidence, definitely, to do more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you looked at, like, the opening weeks there and, like, people just watching it and you're like, is it going to take off? Is anyone going to actually like it? Do you think it's good? And then, bang, away you go. And it's like, it does boost you, doesn't it? Like I told you. Yeah. And you were like, you were taken aback by it, weren't you? You were like, whoa, what's just happened? I said, that's people watching and that's YouTube.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's decent content and pushing it out there.
I did doubt you a little bit because I think for me, I just thought, why is anybody going to be interested in like sitting down to actually watch us just talk about for us, normal things, which is mostly football related. But no, it was amazing. And I think like looking at how many views we got on that first one, I'm blown away. But I think the comments for me were the best because it's like people just saying like more of the same and that they enjoy watching it, or you know, like they comment on a certain part and say, oh, you know, for example, that was my favourite player too, and like really connected with us. And that was, for me, that was the best bit.
You know what that is?
What is that?
It's real content. That's genuine content. That's none of the made up crap bull. Like, I'm not saying that's what I do. I know I do nothing scripted. I hate scripts. No. It's all, I think that's why people liked it. I think because it was natural. They can see you and me in our natural habitat in a way, just talking like we normally would be talking, like, and then I think people relate to it and just like listening in. And do you know what? I think there's a lot of people that actually go, yeah, I can relate completely to how they are together, the situations they're talking about, and like how they deal with it as a two. Like,
I'm sorry, are you all laughing now because you can see me laughing, but I just can't get over the fact you called us in our natural habitat.
Yeah, what else you put in our home? In our normal life?
It sounds like something like off an animal documentary.
As soon as I try and be actually positive or something different or clever, you knock me back down to my normal level.
Sorry. It was just as well when you said scripted, all I could think about was you writing in full capitals that the kids take the mickey.
Crap writing, honestly. Like, I had the worst handwriting ever. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'll say that I have because it's shit.
Your writing, honestly, is just like my dad's, and it's the only person I've ever known who writes like him. And every single time I get a birthday card, it literally says, to Carline, because he forgets I've got to know in my name, all the best, Dad, every single time. And in the last few years, we started to get cards that are Peppa Pig cards to my daughter.
Peppa Pig? Is it you mean Moon Pig?
I don't know Peppa Pig, you know, the character.
Yeah, the
like
kids programme.
Yeah, and I don't think he's doing it as a joke. I just think that's what he thinks, it's a nice card.
Okay, right, yeah. Well, if not wrong with a bit of old school, is there? Like, you know, it's I think we can all relate to our mums and dads actually being like the old days and just looking at it and going like, oh God, I remember when it was like that. But hey, week 1 is done. The reception was great. I loved all the comments, loved the amount of people. Obviously, everyone subscribing into the channel as well. And I think it's just going to help us moving forward, knowing that we've got so many people that love what we're doing. And yeah, absolutely buzzing with that one. But yeah, another week has gone and a lot more has happened this week. I mean, where do we start? I think we have to start with, obviously, it is mainly football that we talk about, but our own lives in football. United were playing this week, but you didn't make it to a certain amount of games because you was playing yourself, Caz, and a few people want to know a little bit more. So what was you up to this week and what actually happened?
I didn't actually miss the game because I had a game, did I? Because United played on Saturday. But I had the kids, so I was busy with the kids. And to be honest, I wasn't even that disappointed to have a game off. I was almost like, oh, I can't come this week because I've got the kids. So I left you to fly solo on that one. So I think since the podcast last week, we did Monday was a podcast, Wednesday we played, and I was subjected to that. And then we had Burnley on Saturday, and then I had a game Sunday, but I also had Frankie's game first thing in the morning. That was a 9 o'clock kickoff. Oh my God, freezing cold. Like it felt like it was January again. I think we drove all the way to Bacup and it was 5 degrees when we got there, raining.
5 degrees, pissing down rain, playing on a grass pitch, but you were about 50 yards away from the actual pitch because the groundsman thought, you know what, because they're playing on the women's pitch, so-called women's pitch up there, that we can't actually go on it. So you had to get the binoculars out just to see what was going on the bleeding pitch.
Yeah, but women's pitches are important. We've got to keep looking after them, haven't we?
You have to look after everyone's pitch. The fact that they actually said, like, it's the women that play here.
I know, I like that though. I was like, I fully agree. Parents, get back behind that line.
And I was like, shut up. Like,
you was all right. You went and got me a sausage balm, so.
Everything's all right with food, isn't it?
Yeah.
Food and a brew, and you don't care what the weather's like.
You said,
we're easily pleased, aren't we?
You actually said, I'm going to get you a sausage muffin, and Frankie went, ooh, what is that? And I went, it's okay, it's just being weird and calling it a muffin.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, the old muffin balm cake debate. Like,
Get your comments in.
Yeah, you love doing that one. We've done that on the show before with me on FUTV with that one. It's just like, I always knew it as a chip gravy muffin in school and stuff like that.
It's like when you buy a blueberry muffin.
I understand that, I do, but I can't help how I was when I was a kid and what I used to say.
But I thought you was from Manchester, though.
But he said it on the bleeding. It is in Manchester. I'm more mank than anyone. Just trying to take me away from Manchester. And that's
you
like
are more mank than anyone.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was actually on the board in the Chinese chip chip muffin. Like,
in your
what else are you supposed to say?
Was that in Wales or?
No.
Okay. I thought because your mum and dad had a caravan there, maybe it was.
No, school in Manchester. What are you talking about? Stop winding me up.
Anyway, getting back to the football.
Yeah,
so 9 o'clock kick-off, and then my game was brought forward, and I didn't realise until probably 8 o'clock on Sunday morning that I'd have to rush back from Frankie's to get to mine. So I put my blue football socks on over my jogging bottoms, thinking when I get back it's quicker, I'll just get changed. I've got my socks on. But because it was that cold and wet, all my socks were wet. So took the socks off, got them in the dryer, forgot to turn the dryer on, went and got ready in 10 minutes, came back down to still wet socks in the dryer that hadn't been turned on, and then drove all the way over to Lim without you.
That was it, yeah. So the general weekend for us is football, then football.
And you doing multiple shows of missing football.
YouTube, football. I got the kickoff time for the North London derby wrong. So that cocked up something, so I couldn't come and watch you in
the doghouse.
That game. But you said, and yeah, I was in the doghouse because I got the kickoff times, but I couldn't watch Caz in a crunch title decider, which it was. But you actually said, though, and we'll go on to this next, you said that it was a good job you wasn't there. And it was for reasons that would have wound me up royally. But you actually lost the plot, didn't you, on the pitch? You actually
I was fuming.
Go on, tell everyone.
Well, we had all the refereeing decisions on Saturday with United, which was a joke to start with. And then our referee, I think it started in the first half. I had 2 chances that were given offside. I didn't think they were offside, obviously. And I think we went in at 0-0. And then the second half started. They scored 3 in the first 10 minutes. And it was playing top of the league. We were second. So it's, not necessarily that it was, going to win. But our defence kind of slipped up and we let 3 in anyway. And then I scored, pulled one back, so it was 3-1. And the ref said to me as I walked back to the halfway line, oh, that was my mistake, that. And I said, well, I'll take that mistake for the 2 you got wrong in the first half. Just having a little bit of banter, I thought.
Yeah, have a laugh with a referee these days.
Nope. So the next chance I got, put through, scored, pulls it back for offside. And I looked at him and I said, you know what you've done there? Because I think in his eyes it was like, well, I better make that one offside because I messed up on the last one. So I wasn't happy at all. Then the next 3 or 4 chances, all offside. And when you play football and it gets to the point where you're playing against one of them refs that's going to give everything as offside. And we don't have linesmen or referees assistants or whatever the name is. So I started to really hold the line. One of them was a ball that got played through that hit their player and then came through to me that he gave offside for. It gave something where they handballed it and it came through to me and he pulled it back as a free kick when it was should have just played the advantage because I was through on goal. And it just carried on and on and on. And I don't think I've ever been so annoyed with a referee in my life.
And like, how annoyed you was knowing
If you'd have been there, geez, no.
Like, I've been just like, everyone knows the tempo. We talked about it on the last episode, obviously. But when it's your loved ones, your kids, like, you try and tell me that you don't get that that extra. When you play and you get wound up. Like, but when your kids are playing, or like, for instance, you're playing and your partner or anything, like, it seems to go worse. It does for me, because I've been turfed off a pitch watching my lad play by the referee.
Yeah, I had to have a word for you about that one.
Yeah, it was their manager walked on the pitch with a bunch of 17-year-olds, and I lost the plot. I'm like, why are you walking on the pitch like you're going to go after one of the lads? Yeah. And I went mad. And then he tried to pull his manager card saying, look, there's only supposed to be 3 people on this side. And the ref went along with it and kicked me off. So I was fuming. Like, honestly, I was just like, I lost the plot.
Did you do that funny walk that you do when you're angry, where you
stamp
point
my
your toes?
feet? Yeah, I don't point my toes, you weirdo. I don't do that. But just so everyone knows, I don't have no mad walk. No, I don't. You see, she makes it out like a walk like the Grinch.
I really
something
like
that.
Impression of it.
No, because your impression's shit.
It's not. It's spot on.
It's not at all. But yeah, no. So kicks off there. If I was there watching that game, like, I have been quite calm watching you. And you know what? I've tried to hold it back, but like, I wouldn't have been able to handle that. The refereeing, like, to that point, after what, like you said, we watched in the week, like, all the refereeing decisions that have gone on recently in the Premier League, with the 115 crew getting away with everything, as always. And then it happens close to home as well. Then that's, oh God, I would have shouted something.
You got plenty of abuse from some of our supporters, and then he said he was going to report us. And I said, well, I hope somebody can report your performance as well.
Yeah, you should be able to write in.
Me,
you can write in on the referees.
I just said to him, I hope someone's recorded all of these offside decisions.
Do you know what? It gets to a point where next time, like, and luckily, like, we'll talk about this next actually, but you've got a cup final this Wednesday, haven't you, Caz? So if anyone's in the region wants to know, then get your comments in, and we'll let you know where it is. You've got to come and support Caz in a final.
Yeah,
but
that'd be nice.
We've got 4 officials for this game, so we should no excuse then against the same team.
Someone literally said that to me as I walked off the pitch, because I think everyone just felt really sorry for me. And one of the girls said, we've got 4 refs on Wednesday, Caz, you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's a joke, though. You get to a semi-final. No, it's not a semi-final, but top of the table clash. Literally, both teams on that day got promoted officially. But it was one to clinch the title. So it was a massive game.
It was them waiting on a result.
You get an idiot referee doing it who just ruins the game and everyone's talking about. And you know, when everyone's talking about the ref, it's definitely a poor performance.
One of the girls who was marking me, she was really nice, but she said, I think he's just a bit old. Like, yeah, that's not okay though.
Yeah, it's just a bit old. Yeah, okay. Well, enjoy your title celebrations, and I'll go back and complain about the old fart.
I got a nice message off their coaching.
Yeah, by the way, like, what's going on with, like, the whole Instagram scouting system in women's football? Like, just to explain, like, I didn't know this world existed.
I didn't know this
for some reason, like, the team that you're at now, this all happened there. So just tell us exactly how it all works and how you actually sign players in women's football.
I don't know myself. All I know is the team I'm playing for now, I joined in around about December, I think, or the turn of the year. But in fairness, they did message me on Instagram. I played against them and they were asking me to play for them. But I did know the coach. We used to live on the same street, so I thought that was all right. But no, the same thing hasn't happened this time. They just requested me, and then they just said you had a really good game.
So being nice, you know what they're doing. They're trying. That's what they are. But like, it seems a bit fruitless because you're both going up into the same division. You are very even in terms of teams. So why would you change anyway when it's further away? So, like, but it does seem like Instagram's the place to go for the scouting women network.
Maybe.
For football down the pyramid, isn't it?
I'll put my date of birth in my bio and they'll see.
They're like, okay, that's not much sell-on factor there, is there? So there's nothing for the future. But cup final this Wednesday. Obviously, another busy week. Thankfully, United have not got a game, but the games that we did have, I mean, poor old Eric, again, has not come out of it too well. Fans not happy. Apparently, we were told by some of the subscribers.
Don't. You're not going to say what he said in his like press conference side.
I'm not even going to try and get into that. I don't want to. I've said enough on FUTV about what he said, like, but we didn't touch on in the shows. Like, obviously, we like to talk about stuff that goes on outside, people we talk to, but apparently there was some fans fighting in the stands with each other.
Yeah.
We've seen the pictures of the Burnley fan who's now been arrested.
Yeah.
Idiots. Like, what happens on match days? Like, you've seen me losing the plot, but everyone turns into, like, Prime Braveheart when it comes to Manchester
I always
United
think
on
when
match
things
days.
like that happen, do they watch it back and they must be so embarrassed, but it
Imagine
must
that.
just be a heat of the moment.
Imagine you see me on the TV doing that.
Oh,
What would you do?
I'd disown you.
You'd end up like, you're not coming back here.
I know you wouldn't do something like that, but I just feel like them people, is that really them and they're just being found out for what they are? Or is it just that football mentality and it just like something clicks inside them and they do something stupid?
This is when he said, like, when they're trying to eradicate football hooliganism, tragedy chants, anything like that in the stands or abuse, like, they're trying to put this in, we're going to ban fans, we're going to do this, we've got the cameras there, it's never going to stop. I can tell you that for nothing. I've travelled everywhere, football, home and away, I know what fans are like. You're never going to be able to stop what happens in the stands, you're never going to change the mentality, you're not going to be able to stop people drinking too much.
But this one was actually, like, the reports that we got were our own fans.
Our own fans fighting each other now, just
Is that
because
the Ten Hag in and Ten Hag out?
Well, you've got... This is how bad it is. You've got fans that are winding us up, opposition fans, which is what we all know about. But only United, we've got fans fighting United fans in the stands now. And it's got to a laughable state, whereas this season is that bad that we're sick of arguing about Ten Hag. We'd rather just fight each other now over the...
Have you ever done that, though? Have you ever got an argument with somebody?
I've had arguments in the stands with people because I had an opinion on a player, yeah. Like, I remember it was... I was sat there with Alfie and... I didn't swear because Alfie was with me. There was nothing abusive. I was basically saying Darren Fletcher was finished. Like, it was, I think it was Louis van Gaal era, and Darren Fletcher was still playing. And I'm like, he's done. He's done. Like, get him off the pitch. You know what you would normally do? Like, come on, it's time to get him off the pitch. This is ridiculous. And this guy just turns around in front of me and just hurls a load of abuse at me. And I'm just like, what? We are supposed to just say nothing? Just accept these crap standards. I should have known then that the standards were changing at the football club. For someone to come around then and have a go at me for complaining about what was happening with LVG, like that then, I think that's when the rot set in. It's like, let's just accept that we're not having our heyday now anymore. And you've got to go with the cycle, as people call it. Football works in cycles. Let's just drop our standards and accept this is how it's going to be. And I'm like, no, I'm not accepting this crap.
No.
Like, we had, I think, enough in all the seasons that we've been pitiful to compete. I've always said that. I've always thought that. And this guy just turned around like I was being completely out of order. And yeah, I could have strangled him, but I didn't.
Thank you, didn't.
Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't be going to games anymore.
I was going to say, I've never actually...
I can see how it kicks off.
I've never had that situation, but I did actually hurt somebody, didn't I, at Old Trafford?
Yeah, yours is... Caz did an absolute comical one. Right, so we was in the concourse at Old Trafford, and I think we were talking to Nick, actually.
We were definitely talking to someone around us.
We were talking to one of the season ticket holders that's around us inside the concourse before the game, and... Caz was describing Harry Maguire and how useless he was.
Well, I love his warm-up routine.
Yes, so Harry Maguire, as we know, he's got that whole famous stretch your leg out
I really
backwards.
want to do that again now, that impression.
Yeah, so we was in the concourse and we was just talking, and it gets very busy in there. And Caz is always usually very aware of her surroundings. She doesn't like she's not that clumsy when it comes to being out and about with other people. No, for me, this was exactly what would have happened for me. Yeah. And I thought it was hilarious just because it was you. But she was talking to whoever it was about Harry Maguire, and he does that stupid warm-up where he just sticks his leg out backwards. And Caz did it, and then some poor guy walking past took one right in the crown jewels. And I looked
at it and said, I'm really sorry, I was just doing an impression of Harry Maguire.
You actually thought it was going to be all right because you said... Yeah, you thought he'd understand because The poor guy's on the floor, like creased over.
No, he wasn't on the floor.
He was. He
come
was
on.
bent over backwards. You have no idea what it's like when you take one in the jugular.
He was fine.
No, he was fine because he wanted to look
overreacted.
hard in front of you and like, no, it's okay. But really, that guy there was going and checking that everything was still there because you got him full on
To the
flush.
gents afterwards.
So lead went back, smack right in the meeting too, and he was down, creased over. Caz went red, embarrassed.
I was definitely embarrassed.
Mortified, wasn't you? But that was definitely your, let's just say, one of your memorable moments at Old Trafford that I can sort of
Not
bring
for
back.
me, it's not.
I can bring back on you. You got plenty of me, but I can definitely bring them back on you.
Yeah.
And and definitely hold it up there and say it's not just me. It's not just me. It's you that drop the clangers as well, isn't it?
Clanger, like one.
No, but there's others, isn't there? There's others. There is.
No.
Like, how many times do you hit your head in the kitchen?
That's
Like,
because
say, because you leave all the cupboards open all of the time.
no, the cupboard doors just happen to the bottom of the cupboard door just happens to be the same height as me. And that's just unfortunate. Actually, if I'm careful about it, I can walk just underneath it.
Yeah, but you know when you step, you sort of go up.
Yeah.
I've ran before. I tried to run through a doorway thinking I'm walking through, which you naturally do, but you don't realise that as you move, you move upwards.
Yeah.
So running through, like right on the top of my head, boom,
My
straight.
sister's got a new puppy and she
Straight
said
down.
at the weekend, because she's got like glass doors without the blinds in it, she said, oh, the first thing she did was try to run through the glass.
Yeah,
We're laughing about that. It's not very funny, but
I've done that before. The old
What a surprise.
patio doors, the slide ones in America. Full pelt, You've Been Framed, or YouTube, whatever it is. Like back in the day, it was You've Been Framed.
have you ever done that when
Remembers
you're out shopping and then you just try and pretend like you've not done anything?
Or like the gym people.
The
that
other
fall off
week,
the treadmill.
I was on my phone walking out of a shop, but instead of walking out of the door, I walked into the bit where the models go in the front. And I just like casually just like turned around and carried on walking out.
Yeah, but I know that would have hurt you.
No, it didn't hurt. I didn't do anything.
Oh, you actually didn't walk into it.
No,
you
it just
actually
like
realised
I just
the time.
kind of walked into like the shop window, if you know what I mean, like from the inside.
Yeah. I mean, I can't call anyone for clumsiness when out.
Yeah.
Like, really can't. Like, lampposts, walking into benches, smacking my knee. It's the most painful thing ever.
You're always smacking your shins, aren't you?
Do that. Yeah, long shins, as you say. Yeah. But no, it's been a bit of a mad week, hasn't it? Because obviously we got struck down on TikTok again on social media.
Somebody's definitely got it
reason.
in for you,
Someone
haven't
for some
they?
reason has got it in for us. Mentioning no people, but obviously
Well, we don't know who it is, but at the end of the day, somebody has got it in for you, and you've just got to rise above it, I think.
yeah. So it's like people keep taking shots. Like we were hit by the FA for doing things that we shouldn't be doing while on accreditation. That's all been sorted, so that's all fine. TikTok again, like apparently we're not original. It's get more original than filming yourself, surely, does it?
No,
But
I think
people
we're
are still
fine.
taking shots at us, and yeah, we've had a lot to deal with in 1 week, haven't we? And it's been a mad one. Frankie's been away with school, so you've been stressed as well.
Oh,
Not
it's
having her
stressful
here.
things when she comes back with a full case of everything that needs washing.
And things missing.
Yeah, what did she not bring
Torch.
back? Oh, it's
Brand new
only a
torch.
torch. What was it, like $2.99 or something?
It's not,
One
you
of the
don't
little
tell her
mini
that though,
ones.
dear. You make it sound like,
Oh, you not brought the torch. I went and got that especially for you.
yeah, you make it sound.
I'm
as
glad
bad
I
as you
didn't let
possibly
her.
can.
I'm glad I didn't let her take that.
Does that
Stanley
mean that?
Cup.
Does that mean when you do that to the kids? Like, you know how much it is? It's
Teaching
not
them
worth a lot.
lessons, I think.
that's right.
You always laugh because you laugh about how I negotiate with the kids. You know when they want money for
God,
things.
it's like your negotiation tactics. Like, I just like, wow, like your kids actually are like chuffed when you give them £1 to go to the shop. I'm like, how have you got him to that level?
Yeah.
Like,
You
that's
start
credit.
low. You start lower than you mean to
How
get.
do you get lower than bleeding £1? You can't even get a chomp for £1 these days.
I don't. It just seems to work. Like Frankie always wants to spend money on these games on her iPad, doesn't she? So I mean, the truth is, like a couple of quid here and there doesn't really hurt, but I make it feel like it's really painful for me, so that if I say £1, like sometimes I say, how much do you want? And she'll go £3, and I go £1. And then she'll go £2, and I go, go on then. And she'll be like, yes. And you'll look at me and go, oh.
Should get you into United for negotiating transfers.
Yeah.
That would Mason Mount. How much do you want for him? Oh, our first bid is exactly what you want.
28 pence.
Oh, fucking what? That's it. We need to get you in there doing that stuff. But no, I think they've got it nailed these days anyway, haven't they? By the minimum spend to use your card. They know the kids.
The shop near us is £3, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always make sure you go in when it's that shop.
Yeah, it's like, take cash. Who's got cash these days?
Yeah.
Like the barbers only take cash. That's a pain in the ass because you have to walk to the cash machine.
The last time I had to go to the cash machine to draw our money out, I felt really dodgy for some reason.
Don't say it.
You know when you take all that cash out and you're like looking around you.
Everyone thinks you're a drug dealer when you've got that much cash.
Yeah.
Not saying that's all the people that carry cash around, by the way. Let's make that clear. But no, it's don't say it. But like, I can't remember what my pin is. Obviously, don't say your pin out for the podcast reasons and security and everything. But like, I can't remember what my pin is now. Like, I forgot it.
Yeah. You do heavily rely on Apple Pay, don't you?
You can use Apple Pay for everything. You scared, like, not being able to
I don't know.
use it?
For some reason, when I'm at the petrol station, I think because of the phone thing, I'm just scared. You know, because you're not allowed your phone.
Yeah, well, you can't pay at the pump with your phone. That's right, because of what could happen at a petrol station while using your phone. You've seen the viral videos online about what can happen at a petrol station when using a phone. But no, I just solely rely on my phone. I think it's safer. I know a lot of people would say, well, if they nick your phone, they've got everything.
They've got to get in it though, haven't they?
They've got to get in it. I'm sure they've got ways of getting around that these days as well, haven't they? But yeah, it's a bit of a scary one, isn't it?
So, back to football. Who's our next game? Is it next Monday?
Crystal Palace.
Oh, that means we've got a weekend off, doesn't it?
Bank holiday as well.
And I've noticed that the weather looks like it might finally be improving.
What the hell is going on with the weather? Like,
I've got an idea as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
You got to tell me now on the podcast before you've actually told me.
Yeah. So, you know, like I've been telling you about the garden.
Oh, no.
The weather looks like it's going to be nice. Why are you doing that thing?
Work.
No, so we've got all
work,
Saturday, no kids and nice weather. I think we should get out in that garden.
I'm sure there's a game on that I've got to cover, you know.
No.
There is?
What time? Let's get up early.
Nah. I can't remember which one it is now, but yeah, I think... Yeah, we have to fix the garden. Like, we've got the new fencing going in anyway, haven't we? So
exactly, it needs to be done before the new fencing.
But yeah, I reckon busy week, but it has to start well. It's been all right because we've got no United to stress us. You need to get the win on Wednesday, then into the bank holiday. It could all end up being ruined right at the end of it because United have got a stupid kick-off time.
That's really bad again, isn't it, on a bank holiday?
Shit is what it is. It's an absolute farce. It's a joke, and the away fans again getting absolutely shafted. Like, that was our last 3 o'clock kick-off of the season. We don't get many of them, but every single one of them now is, I think, Sunday, Monday, even the final. Sorry, the final's on the Saturday. I got that wrong. But like, it's been the worst away games ever for United to finish a season right at the end of the country, and the worst kick-off times
Palace are really
possible.
in form as well.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, like,
they're playing well at least.
To be honest, we struggled against Sheffield United, so it doesn't really matter. Like, who we're playing right now, we're scared of. Anyone can beat United right now, and I think it could be. I'm actually happy that we haven't got a game this week, just so we can do our normal thing.
You actually got tickets for the Brighton away game, though, didn't you?
Yeah, that's going to be nice. Something different. Getting down to... Actually, getting tickets in the ballot for Manchester United for one is difficult these days. We don't get anything. Like, I think they've set out now, like, your average fan will get, like, 3 different away games in a season. That's the demand. That's how big Manchester United demand is.
When is that game, though?
End of the season, right at the end of May, week before the final it is. So, 2 weekends in a row where we're on the road, travelling, tiring, but bringing everyone the content. You know what it's like. It'll be different content, actually, coming from Brighton. I've been there twice. Horrible experiences both times. Not seen us score 1 goal, and we've been beaten in both games, so I've not got my hopes up for the end of the season. But, hey, you never know. De Zerbi's just as crap as Ten Hag at the moment, which is why we don't want him. But yeah, I also wanted to bring in to the podcast what we do outside in FUTV. So we're asking a lot of questions to people and we're not answering them ourselves. So I thought I'd use the podcast as an opportunity to bring in bits from the content from FUTV just to put us on the spot.
What are you going to ask?
What is your most unpopular opinion about Manchester United?
Oh, you've done this on purpose because you know it changes every week.
It does for you because you've got that much that winds you up.
My opinions aren't unpopular. That's the problem. My opinions are all popular.
Oh no, it's got to be one that you know that people
The only
disagree
one I've come up with was the one that I've done already, where I said, as much as I like Luke Shaw and I think he's a great player, I think if we can get any decent money from him in the summer, we should get rid of him because he just doesn't play enough.
I think a few people disagree with you on that one. I remember it being out.
A few people said, what money would you get for Luke Shaw? But
what money would you get for any United player at the moment?
That's it.
That's the thing. We're not worth anything. It's crap, but yeah.
What's yours then? Have you actually ever given yours?
No, for mine has been like, I actually feel like Sir Alex Ferguson is partly to blame for the mess United are in.
Ooh.
Like, I actually do feel like he jumped ship. He knew what was coming. And I think
people have said that.
He brought in a way, there's part of me that thinks like he deliberately gave us David Moyes just so his legacy would continue and everyone would think he was brilliant, because David Moyes set us back 7 bleeding years in one season.
I don't think so. I think he thought he was doing.
Don't get me wrong, like, I love Sir Alex. He's the best thing that's ever happened to Manchester United.
I think in hindsight, if he'd have known how it was going to go, which obviously you don't, I don't think he would have put us or David Moyes in that situation.
This is Sir Alex Ferguson's way of saying that the Glazers were not right for Manchester United.
You know what that is, though, that opinion?
Unpopular.
Audacious.
It's audacious. It is, but hey, everyone's got their own. Everyone's got some mad opinions.
Yeah.
About it. That's why we get out on the street.
Want to get in?
No, it's just that one. What I do every single week that we do, like, it's not just us putting people on the spot. I like to sort of bring it back to us as well. So yeah, I like to get people's opinions, and like, I want to get people to comment on the podcast to like get up a topic that you think that me and Caz can also discuss on the next episode. Well,
someone did actually comment that they'd be interested in knowing a bit more about my footballing background and what happened at Man United. So maybe at some point we can divulge a little bit about what happened. Yeah,
so guys, everyone can just let us know exactly what ideas you've got running through your brain that you want us to talk about, and then we can bring them up as well. So make sure you get plenty of comments coming in on different things that we can discuss as a couple rather than just being me or either one person. I mean, sometimes conversations work better as a couple, don't they?
Yeah, do you know what? The one thing I will say about the last podcast, if you flick through it, it's literally you, like, nearly all the time.
Are you saying I'm stealing the limelight?
No, you just do like talking a lot.
No, you do as well.
No, you do as well.
No, it's not just me. I think the time was shared quite well, actually. Are you trying to say that I stole all of the...
I just think you naturally... You're more of a natural talker, so I think you...
People actually think you talk well, though.
I'm not saying I talk well or I don't talk well. I just didn't talk as much as you will, to say it that way.
Well, let's just say that was the first episode. We eased you in, and now you're just going to come out your shell and just be this evergreen book of knowledge on every single subject. And I think you'll feel more comfortable as you go along anyway.
In our natural habitat.
In our habitat, yeah, that's what it's all about. Or the Mancunian way of saying it, habitat.
No, we still have a H.
Habitat. I said, at least they pronounced the H.
In it,
our kid. Yeah, nice one, mad for it. But yeah, no, it actually brings it. You talked last week about Jill Scott.
I don't like the pointing thing.
No one can see me pointing, so it doesn't matter to me, so you can't hold me against it, so it's not on camera.
Yeah, but I can see it.
It's just, woo. Anyway. You talked about Jill Scott, different famous footballers that you've played against, all your experiences. What was your sort of, not so much a claim to fame, but famous person you met where you was just like, whoa.
What, when I was playing?
Not much when you're playing, just through your whole life. Like, has it happened recently?
It definitely wasn't when I was playing. It was when I went to Carrington with you.
Yeah, I managed to smuggle Caz into a Carrington gig.
A smuggle?
No, we sort of like, yeah, she was working. She got plenty of footage and the pictures, so she was doing a job, to be fair, and that did work, and we did put that out on socials.
Inside, and obviously I've not been close up to the players before you have. And
It's weird, isn't it? Like, when you see him for the first time, you sort of like, like, whoa, it's weird. It's been all normal people.
Yeah.
You get a little bit starstruckish,
you
don't
said
you?
to me at one point, "Don't look behind you," and I looked at you and I thought, "Who is it? Who is it?" And you was like, and then I looked round.
I seen him
Casemiro
coming.
would have said, "Hi," and I was like, I've always
what
wanted
to
to
say.
his cheeks as well, and I couldn't do it.
I love you. That's what it would be with him, wouldn't it? But
They were all so nice, so like Casemiro, Dallo. Who else did we see?
Varane
Yeah.
was a gen.
They were all polite, weren't they?
Yep. We didn't see many English players, did we? Like, although
down.
to be fair, Harry Maguire did let on what passed, doing his duties as well.
He didn't ask me to do an impression of his warm-up, though, did he?
No. I think you could give him a few pointers. I'd say extend a little bit more.
No, you know, when you see him doing that warm-up, you think, he's up for this today. He's doing his special stretch.
Even Dalot did one.
It's like when Rashford does his pre-match sprint and he thinks,
Oh, yeah.
maybe the stats have already started recording.
Yeah, that's it. Like Nick would say in the stands, he's only here to get his effing steps in. Fucking joke, man. But no.
Now, don't say anything mean.
Do you know what mine was? I've met a lot of players, and like I've been nervous. I've been in situations with the world media, and you're in press conference situations. Like, these guys are used to asking questions.
I couldn't do that.
And then, like, you get the finger pointed at you to answer a question. It's just like,
I would freeze.
you know what it's like? What's that quiz called? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
And it goes, doo-doo-doo-doo, and the lights just go,
Do you want to phone a friend?
boom. I'm just like, shit. Don't cock this up.
When we did the last one, I was sat next to you and I had nervousness for you. I was sat there like, I felt like I was the one asking the question.
Mark Robbins,
Yeah.
press conference.
And to be honest, that's probably the least pressured you've had.
Yeah, I've spoke to plenty of managers, like Ten Hag. I think Neil Lennon, I spoke to him. Obviously, Mark Robbins. I think I tried to get a question. Sorry?
Sean Dyche, have you spoken to?
No, not spoke to Dash. I think I've had the opportunity. I've been in a press conference with Pep, but I was that angry I just didn't even want to talk to him because I don't like him. It's nothing against him. It's just because it's City. But Pellegrini, I've been obviously with the Seville manager at the time. I can't remember his bleeding name now. It changes all the time. So yeah, but my biggest like nerve-wracking moment was completely random. Cristiano Ronaldo in a bar in Manchester.
Gotcha.
That, like, literally, I shit myself. Like, I was younger, I had no experience of anything, but this is probably like, that was probably the one time where I was like realising that, when I look back, that you was made for doing what you do. Like, you just got up and walked over to him. This is when he was not as big, clearly, because he wouldn't just walk into a bar.
Yeah.
With his agent into a bar called Living Room in Manchester. It's not there anymore, it's something else now. But one of the trendy bars in Manchester, midweek, day after a game. Everyone will know the game because it was when Jose Mourinho arrived and he did his knee slide when Porto beat United. Yeah. The next day, Ronaldo was injured in that game and came off, and I was out, and he walked into the bar, and I was just like,
what did you say to him?
Cristiano Ronaldo. I just walked up to him and I said, "You all right, Cristiano?" Like, I don't know what I was supposed to say.
Mate.
I was just like, "How's it going? Like, how's the injury? Are you okay?"
Yeah.
There's the natural thing that came into my head, like, it was like talk football, because I felt like an idiot anyway.
How's the injury, mate?
How's the injury? And he actually, his English wasn't that bad at the time, so he was like, "Yeah, it's not too bad. It should be okay." Somewhat along them lines. That was pretty much it. And his agent came. I can't even. You know what? I didn't even know George Mendes, who's a super agent now. Yeah. I didn't even know. I can't even say if it was him with him at the time, if he was big enough then. I just remember watching and looking at Ronaldo and going, "Wow." I didn't even see the other guy, but yeah, he got ushered away very, very quickly. I don't think I looked like a psycho anyway, and it was one of them bars that you sort of have to book in to get into anyway, so I think they knew that it was normal people.
Did you feel a bit posh that day?
I was still like, when I was younger, I was worse than I am now with football, so I was still gutted from the night before, going out of the Champions League. Yeah. That's all I could think about, but it took my focus off it anyway. But yeah, I think we can safely wrap up episode 2 right there, Caz.
Yeah,
Done it again.
it's done it.
Well done.
We've done all right, haven't we?
Yeah, you're not too bad, are you, at this?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right, getting the love in. Make sure...
I reckon I've earned myself a little drink at the pub, though.
Yes, pub lunch. I think that's in order.
Late for lunch.
Nah, we've not had lunch yet, so I'll call it lunch and dinner.
We had a brunch, though, so what's the difference, really? A brunch and then like an early tea.
We're going to have a drunch.
A drunch, a drink at lunch.
A dunch. A dunch. A dunch, yeah. Episode 2, all done and dusted. Cheers for everyone. Cheers everyone for tuning in. Make sure you get your comments in. Let us know what you want us to talk about in episode 3 as well. Get your ideas across, and yeah, we will see you there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, get your likes in on the video, and we'll see you in episode 3, won't we, Caz?
Yep, done and dusted.